such a long ways in the story. You have listened Jack, who goes towards the city, through the old slope, even after the retailer expressed, not to multiple times. Furthermore, gets found out, in a horrible mountain storm, after which he winds up external, an abandoned mansion, where he meets a lovely lady, residing in the manor, who describes to Jack the narrative of adoration among Lisa and Roki, which closes in the agonizing passing of a guiltless. Listen the story ahead, while paying attention to Lisa's story in obscurity. Wet and turbulent evening of the slope. Jack came exceptionally near that lady, to such an extent that the two of them could plainly hear each other's warm breath. He was so fascinated in her story that neither one of his could see the dimness of the night nor the solid tempest. He needed to know why the proprietor of the manor killed the landscaper when the misstep was of his child. Also, will the proprietor of the mansion kill them both at this point? Lady said. What do you suppose, sir? Did he foul up to be killed or to be saved? Jack said. You tell me. What will occur straight away? Lady said. What will occur, sir? In the event that passing has begun, there will be obliteration ahead. Seeing his dad passing on before his eyes, Roki blew his top and angrily ran towards the proprietor of the manor. Also, before he could arrive at the proprietor, his bold driver seized him and lifted him up and tossed him on the ground. Limited his options and feet. Proprietor of the mansion said, You rats, messy channel worms. Do you have any idea why I killed your dad? So a kid like you isn't brought back to life. Who punctures the plate of his lord? Lisa said. Sir, pay attention to me. Roki isn't to blame. This is my shortcoming. Kindly excuse. Roki said. Try not to request absolution from this oppressor. How can he understand what love is? Lisa, I might bite the dust. Yet, never say that our affection is an error. Lisa's better half arranged his driver. Keep the eyes and ears of this canine open. I will presently assemble the mansion of his affection. When he said this, the proprietor of the manor hauled Lisa by her hair to the opposite side of the shade. Furthermore, began stomping on her. The person who didn't contact Lisa for a really long time denied her today before Roki and tossed her in a terrible condition before Roki. The two of them could see one another, yet couldn't go close. Exactly the same thing began happening regularly with Lisa, and Roki could do nothing aside from watch. Numerous days sat back. Roki passed on in torment of appetite and thirst. When Roki kicked the bucket, the proprietor of the house left the entirety of his brutality and hauled Lisa to Roki's dead body. Furthermore, said, Look Lisa, take a gander at your adoration, and comprehend what might occur in the event that somebody deceives me. Driver. In the event that the crying of this appalling lady is washed away, toss the dead body in the backwards and lock her out of the loop room. When the expert left, Lisa sobbed so harshly, not without a fight, that the entire mansion shook. Driver hauled Roki's dead body away from her. Lisa cleaned her tears and got her possessions, and herself went to the prison and shut the entryway from inside. At first the proprietor took no consideration of Lisa. However, When months passed, and Lisa emerged, then the proprietor himself came to the prison. However, Lisa didn't emerge. Odd commotions used to come from inside her cell over the course of the evening. Nobody understood what Lisa was doing inside. Numerous years passed, yet she didn't emerge. The proprietor was presently feeling embarrassed about his activities. He felt as though he had committed some transgression by isolating them. Don't have the foggiest idea the amount he hurt a bloom like Lisa out of resentment. And everything began softening him inside. He didn't actually know now how little Lisa seems to be now that she is youthful. Ordinarily in the yearning to examine her, the proprietor mentioned her to emerge. Yet she didn't emerge. Gradually the proprietor's well-being crumbled. He began spewing blood. The specialist couldn't comprehend what had occurred, so he requested that he go to the city. Prior to leaving, the proprietor again came to the dull room. Be that as it may, Lisa actually didn't open the entryway. Driver told the proprietor that, assuming you request, I will break the entryway and bring her out. Yet the proprietor straight refused and said, no driver, no more pressure. Lisa, if it's not too much trouble, pardon me if conceivable, I'm taking a gander at the last days of my life. Simply need to see you once. How would you look? Then, at that point, I will go to the city for treatment. Once I crease my hands before you, Lisa. Just a single time. Lisa's voice came from the dim room. No treatment will help you. Neither medication nor petition. You have no sickness. My dark shadow is eating you. Charlatan. Go anyplace. Yet one day this dark shadow will kill you from inside. When the proprietor came to realize that the dull shadow of Lisa had done this to him, his hostility stirred. Furthermore, he poured oil all in all prison and set it ablaze. What's more, Lisa was scorched to remains inside, shouting. After Lisa's demise, the horror of the mansion expanded multiple times more. What's more, the quietness of death spread all over the place. The walls of the manor used to hurry to chomp the proprietor. The agonizing shouts coming around. Evening time used to blow his detects. He felt as though somebody needed him dead. He comprehended that regardless of whether it is Lisa, it is the dim shadow of Lisa who is after his life. So one night the expert left the manor and began going towards the city. From the old slope, he was moving extremely quick. That is the point at which he felt that somebody hit his vehicle while flying. Also, the proprietor failed to keep a grip on the vehicle and fell straight into the trench. Also, that is where his story finished. From that point on, whoever goes through the old slope around evening time bites the dust. Jack said. My work was likewise going to be finished, however fortunately you have found me, presently the night will pass well. Lady said. Sir, how might this night pass with such ease? We have recently met. Jack said. Indeed. Recently met. Don't have a clue about the name. I'm Jack. What's more, presently I might want to know the name of the creator of this story. Lady said. The narrative of Lisa. Lisa's words. Jack said anxiously. Meaning? Lady said. Meaning? It implies that I am Lisa. Jack said, frightened. Try not to joke. Lisa is dead, right? Lady said. So when did I say I'm alive? When she said this, the lady began laughing uncontrollably. Jack moved towards her. And when he attempted to contact her, his hand went across her body. Jack's condition turned out to be to such an extent that his entire body was doused in water in one stroke. Aside from Lisa, presently he began seeing the headless dead body of that groundskeeper there, as well as another dead body whose options and feet were limited. For example, Rocky dead body. He began running towards the steps of the mansion. Jack had recently climbed a couple of steps when his knees quit staggering, since an elderly person was descending from a higher place. The proprietor of the mansion. What's more, he said, where will you follow getting away from this? The dark soul of this lady will fulfill solely after destroying you. Jack yelled. No. I would rather not pass on. I would rather not pass on. Expert spirit said. This old slope is reviled. Nobody has made dew till date. How might you make dew? When the expert spirit said this, everybody began snickering fiendishly together. Jack couldn't comprehend what to do. Hearing everybody's detestable giggle, his brain began to meander. Furthermore, he got discombobulated and fell there. At the point when he woke up, he was not in the manor yet. On a sharp turn of the old slope, he was lying in a vehicle that had crashed into a major stone. There was a profound trench on the opposite side of the stone, and trash tumbled from behind. Jack began the vehicle and began attempting to push it back. However, the vehicle couldn't move back, and he stays stuck out and about in the center of the old slope. Indeed, even in the wake of making a solid attempt, when the vehicle doesn't move back, he hits his head against the directing. Then, at that point, hurls a moan of help. Also, said, come on, basically I'm not caught in Lisa's manor. I don't have any idea what I thought when I blacked out in the vehicle. Yet, one thing should be acknowledged, so Jack, Lisa was marvelous. Assuming I get her, I will execute 100 Roki. Indeed. We should get down from the vehicle now and make room. Expressing this to himself, when Jack attempts to open the safety belt of the vehicle, it doesn't open by any means. That is the reason Jack attempts to receive in return by pulling the safety belt. However, bombs in that as well. His psyche begins receiving aggravated, and he needs to receive himself in return, some way or another. Really, at that time he sees Lisa of that manner before him, and the wide range of various spirits behind her, seeing which Jack gets much more anxious. Then, he hears a horn, which is of a major truck. Jack yelled, no, no, no. Jack comprehends that something terrible will happen to him. He begins attempting once more to get out. Be that as it may, it is of no utilization. Jack figures out this solely after seeing Lisa's grin. All of a sudden, a major truck goes across Lisa while turning at a sharp turn, and staggers Jack alongside the vehicle and falls into a trench. Maybe Jack ought to have complied with the cafe proprietor To go through the old slope. Around evening time implies just. And just passing.